Good afternoon, everyone. It is, oh, hello, hang on. We've got a little bit of echo going on already. What's not to love about that? Good afternoon, everyone. We are Speaker Insight, where we help speakers, authors, and coaches to build a portfolio business on your terms. And we love to interview really exciting people. And we do have a little bit of an exciting one for you today that you may never have thought about. So my name is Helena.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are the founders of a wonderful group on Facebook called the Connection Hub, where we've got 12,000 speakers, authors, and coaches who are connecting with each other, who are connecting with people like Nick, who really kind of extend the boundaries of what's possible around building your business and indeed getting your message out there, whether that's you're focused on being a speaker, whether you're an author, whether you're a coach, or whether you are, as we love to have you, a blend of all of those things. So do come and join us inside the Connection Hub if you are not already in there and you're watching this from the Facebook page, on the Speaker Insight Facebook page. But if you're watching us inside the Connection Hub, say hello.
We go live every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and we've done this for the last 3 years. I don't think we've missed, I think we've maybe missed one in 3 years. So that's consistent content for you. We do live as we preach. And every Tuesday, we either go live with a guest like Nick, who we've got a very juicy live for you today, as you can see from the title of the screen, or we do our clarity and connection networking sessions every other Tuesday, where you get to see 6 wonderful people and get to know them a little bit more and see if you can connect and help them out. And this is why this live came about, because Nick was actually on one of our clarity and connection sessions a few weeks ago, and lots of people were like, I want to know more about what this guy's talking about. So we decided, we asked the people on the on that, would they want us to do a live, and ta-da! Nick
Here we are.
Wonderfully said yes, he's happy to do it. And so we are diving into this very new and exciting adventure with Amazon on how to live stream and use this. So this is for everybody. Don't turn off, go, oh, I haven't got a book on Amazon, I haven't got a product on Amazon. Stay tuned, because we're going to talk you through all of how everybody can use Amazon, and wherever you are in the world, in the UK or worldwide. So we do have a worldwide audience. I can see some of you listening in the Connection Hub at the moment. So please do give us a little comment, a little wave, say who you are and where you're watching from. We'd love to know where our audience is watching from, and Nick might be able to give you a little bit of a tip, bit of advice based on the country that you're in as well, about time zones to go live, because we were just having that conversation.
Yes, indeed.
But first of all, as always, I'll hand you back over to Helena.
Because it is, of course, we love to make sure that you take any opportunity that you can to share what you're up to. You never know who's listening, either now or on the hashtag replay. We love it when you do a hashtag replay, because we know that because of the global audience, not everybody is even up at 1 p.m. in the UK. So wherever you are in the world, whenever you are watching this, even if it's a year down the line and you've suddenly gone, hang on a minute, I missed the boat a little while back and I didn't actually jump on this, but I need to understand it, then do as a hashtag replay. What we really want to know from those of you who are already here, get ready to type in, what is the buzz in your business?
So as always, we'll kick you off. Do you like our little intros?
I love that.
You can tell we're both musical theatre themes, right?
Yes. And slightly geeky.
Yeah, of course. So Nick, get your thinking cap on, because I know you've always got stuff to talk about, but we'll kick you off while everyone else is watching. We'll start typing and telling us what's exciting that's happening in your business. And I'm going to break one of my own rules today, because I don't normally say the C word before December.
Kelly Tyler.
Our buzz is that we've just booked our Christmas party. So we are very looking forward to having a big bash with our partners in December. And we'd love to know, have you already thought about your Christmas party? Do you know what you're doing? Again, you can tell us in the comments whether you're watching this live or on the replay, or whether you're completely disgusted that I've said the C word before December, which is breaking my own rules. Nick, what's your buzz, hun? What's going on in your business and your life?
Oh, what's going on in my life? I'm just live streaming like a crazy boy.
Tell us what you were doing this morning.
This morning we had the live weekly England versus Australia cook-off, where I have a cook-off with my friend Adair Palmer, and she makes life hard for herself because she's actually on a boat, more just in the bay near Brisbane. And
Oh.
so this morning we were supposed to be having the great chili con carne cook-off, and unfortunately she couldn't risk getting off the boat to get the ingredients, because we've had this issue before. She couldn't then get back on the boat. So fortunately,
Because of storm warnings, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was a big storm warning saying don't do it, and she said it was getting quite choppy, and it's quite amusing sometimes because you can see it's one of those weird things, the perspective where everything in her kitchen looks okay, but if you see the window, you can just see the horizon going up and down and up and down.
I'll be sick. I'll be throwing up.
And to cook in that environment is quite crazy. But one of the things, another thing she has is she hasn't got constant electricity, so it's always self-generating, and so she doesn't actually use an oven. So we are kind of restricted.
Wow.
So what did you make this morning?
So Adair made kombucha, the fermented drink.
Yeah.
And I made a chili con carne with a guacamole side. And jolly nice.
Everyone at lunchtime is now drooling.
Yes, I was going to say, and are you eating that afterwards?
I'll eat that for my dinner later on. I did make myself a very small plate. I mean, we'd finished making it at just after 10 o'clock in the morning. A little bit too early for me to eat quite a hot chili.
That's
to be
amazing.
honest. But this is the thing. This is, if you're going to do live streaming, you might as well do something that you really enjoy. I love cooking. It makes me lunch. And I do the Friday Keto Nick cooking show where everything's keto based, and that's at midday in the UK, and that is lunchtime. So that is like heaven.
Let's live stream it and make it worthwhile. I'm going to read out Jill's comment here. She just says, my buzz is launching up all of my Somni movie audios and CBT1 and mindfulness recordings for her insomnia clients. Wow. Well, if they can't sleep and they're doing your cookery show, maybe they should come over to Jill's and download her stuff. Put any links in, Jill. I know we've got a lot of insomniacs in the group, so if you've got a link to that where people can actually purchase them, then put it in the comments too. But well done.
Yeah, nicely done.
And the nice thing just about the England Australia cook-off is of course we are both England and Australia, so where we go so early, it's 6 p.m. for Adair, so 9 a.m. for me. It's not too bad. Obviously for the USA audience, we're going for their nighttime, so unless they're shift workers, we're not going to catch a big US audience, but we still have a healthy audience, and we get lots of chat, and because it's the same thing on Amazon, you still get chat like you do on Facebook.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, so we definitely want to pick your brain around all of this. So we're going to go right back to the basics, and the basics for us. I mean, I've known Nick for a very long time now, probably a good, well, I don't know, relatively speaking, in my world, 6 years is a long time. So we go back quite a ways, and I know that you've been chopping and changing, but you've fallen into this and just grabbed it. And one of the things that Kelly and I say all of the times is that you can pull the golden thread of everything that you do in order to actually build your speaker, author, coach business. One of the things I've observed around Nick, sort of his passion for technology and particularly for all things video, seem to have come together. So Nick, because not everybody probably watched the Clarity and Connection call, and not everybody maybe knows you. I know that's shocking, but here we are. So would you like to just tell everybody, who are you and what do you actually do, before we pick your brain beautifully around what you're going to introduce us to?
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I'm Nick Wood, and I was trained as an accountant back in the olden days. But about 7 or 8 years ago, I decided that I didn't want to do that for another 25 years. No one ever, I swear, nobody ever, wakes up and says, I want to be an accountant to their mum and dad. So it's one of those things that you just fall into because you just can't think of anything better to do. So, not wanting to do that for my entire life, I wanted to do something different. And so luckily, my wife Deb's supported me as well. So, we just tried different things, and I got into digital marketing. I mean, we met Helena through, it was trying to learning to build Facebook groups. And that was at the embryonic stage of Facebook Lives and doing that. And so, so I qualified. I got certifications with Google and Digital Marketer and Brian Dice and those people to start the digital journey. But then really, as Helene said, my passion was video, and I was trying to do everything. The live video was something I really liked from the start. But weirdly, when I look back at it now, I didn't do as much as I wanted to because I didn't think I had anything to say.
Right.
It was crazy. Now I look back now and I think, oh, now you can't stop me. But yeah, so that was a holdback. But in those early days, I was still trying to use what we called open broadcast software to make the live streams just a little bit better, to be able to use a green screen and do those things. And then technology kind of caught up. But to make ends meet, I was, before COVID broke, I had clients in the hospitality industry. I was running Facebook ads and Google ads for their campaigns. And of course, hospitality just shut down. So we had to change. And so I decided to hold open like an hour-long space every day for local businesses to just come on and say whether they were still in business, what they were doing, if they'd pivoted. I mean, still hate that word. And for the first 3 days, it was just me chatting away to myself for an hour, which taught me a lot, not least that I can talk for an hour without any interview guests, which is a little bit embarrassing. And so, but then Facebook did the thing that Facebook does best, and that is it decided to give my live video reach. And so the reach went to a local business networking in Berkshire, who then reached out to me and said, oh, well, we've got a load of businesses in our group.
You would love this.
Can we introduce you? So I said, absolutely. And so then I was interviewing 2 or 3 people a day at the beginning of lockdown.
Brilliant.
I really, really love everything. If you even stopped listening right now and just took that opportunity seizing, we look at this so often. I love that you pivoted. I love that you stayed with it. I love that you actively just sat and realized that you could chat to yourself for an hour and that you persevered in that way. There's such an example here for so many speakers, authors, and coaches who do the hiding thing and go, oh, I couldn't possibly, and stop themselves. And yet I take the example of what you've done, and you've been building on it since, haven't you?
Oh, absolutely. It was, there was nothing else that I really wanted to do. There was, it was either that or go get a job in a shop. That was the reality. And so I just started to really do what I enjoyed and just step it up another level. And with live streaming in general, I know we're going to be talking about Amazon, but just live streaming in general is probably one of the most effective ways of networking that there is. And it's certainly, since I stepped up, has just opened so many doors for me, and has introduced me to so many different people, all of which have been, a massive help. It's just been amazing. And so if you're not doing it, you're missing out on a real trick.
And let's just pick up on that, Nick, as well, because I also want to highlight, the blend of what you are. It's because you are trained in videography, is you can actually help people with the setup, the framings, all these types of things, the technology aspect of just live streaming generally. And I just want to bust this myth, because there's going to be some people on here who actually don't know what we mean by live streaming. So there's obviously, our group is specifically aimed for speakers, authors, and coaches. So let's just demystify and what live streaming is. But also, there are so many speakers, authors, and coaches that are doing content out there, and there are still so many that aren't live streaming. So could you also entice them a little bit with reasons why live streaming is really good for them? You just mentioned one about networking, but those 2 bits. So what is live streaming, and why should speakers, authors, and coaches be doing it and get out of their comfort zones?
All right. Well, live streaming is basically, it's like being on a live TV program. So imagine newscasting. You look on Sky, or 24/7 rolling news, and we're able to live stream ourselves. So we've got all our different social media platforms, our websites, where we can actually go live stream into. So it's just not a pre-recorded video. And one of the big pluses for live stream is that it gives you so much more instant credibility and trust, because when you chat to people on a live stream, and if you've got an interview, I always say to my interviewees, is that you've got nowhere to hide. It normally scares the hell out of them. But the truth is, you know that what's coming across is genuine. And so that's one of the massive benefits of live streaming.
And that's why we encourage everybody to always ask, and this is why the guys that are watching live and on the replay, type your questions in, right? Because I think this is where authenticity shines, is what you're saying, Nick, isn't it? Because you can throw a question at somebody, and if they're not an expert, if they don't know their stuff, you can really see in an instant how credible they are and how aligned they are in the way that they respond, in what their content is. So it's your true raw you.
Yeah.
Throw questions at us, guys.
It is, yeah. Throw them in. Although I've got to admit, I won't say who it was, but I was watching someone yesterday, and they were talking about their subject, and I know them very well, and I know that the show they were doing is a sponsored show, and so they were asked to do this specific topic.
Okay.
And I could see they were uncomfortable talking about it because they're not doing it every day, and so it was really interesting. They knew the broad concepts around it, but you could tell they were uncomfortable because they weren't doing it all the time. But as I was saying to you guys earlier, the live streaming community is a beautiful place. And so some of the people that I did know, and I do know, that are doing it all the time, were able to come in and help in the comments, and really made it, they could see, they knew what was happening as well. And so, at no point in throwing anybody under a bus. It was just a case of we all want everyone to do well. So that was a lovely thing to see.
We want to highlight that not everybody knows everything, and we're not expecting you to. I mean, we don't know everything about our topic, but obviously there's a level of integrity of where you might point them to, or books that you might read, or something like that would be able to give them the answer, as long as you know your message and what you're standing really solidly in that, green flag and the sand type of scenario. Then we don't expect you to know every answer to every question, but your willingness to support them is the key, really.
Exactly. And I always say it's just bringing, for people that I help, it's just, I'm just the next little level in front of them, so I can just hold your hand while we just take you through those little levels. So it's easy.
It's really interesting because, of course, that's why we have the partners that we have, because we don't teach speakers how to speak, we don't teach authors how to write, we don't teach coaches how to coach, but we help them build a business underneath it, right? And so that's about the partnerships. But we do have trusted people that we invite into this show. I'm going to take to calling this a show because you're here for some reason. That's actually what I've just done, which would be great. So Nick's going to answer kind of some of the best streaming platforms, because those are beginning to come in. I'm not sure who asked that, but I'm sure it might be Gav. Yeah, I thought it was Gav. Yeah. So hi Gav, and we'll come on to that in a second. But before we do that, let's
do the second part of that question. So why?
I was just going to say, so let's go back to the whole kind of, why is it important for speakers, authors, and coaches to be doing this live streaming, and now?
Exactly. Cool. So I am inherently lazy. So the thing about live streaming is when you've live streamed, you have created an absolute goldmine of content. Okay. So it's not just the fact that you've made this video. You've now got a massive, I always say, if you've got a 45-minute interview, that is a really meaty blog post. Just get it transcribed. Yeah, you'll have to tweak it a little bit so it reads better. But it's an amazing blog post. You can then cut that up and have it into little sections for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And again, with the video, and this is the thing about using third-party live streaming software, is that pretty much all of them, I believe now, you're going to get a high-definition recording after the event. And so that you can cut up into little pieces. You can repurpose it all over. So what I do is I'll have a video that I'll then make it square for Facebook and Instagram. I'll make it portrait for TikTok and IGTV. And again, this is just being able to put some overlays on it, and just using some simple editing, just to bring it down. So often I'll just speed up. For example, I'll speed up some of my videos on TikTok. Because I can talk about it slowly at times, and I can just speed it up and it seems okay. So it just gives you masses and masses of content. And so the more content, I always say, you've got 45-minute interview will give you about a month's worth of content quite easily.
And what's not to love about that?
And places like Facebook, they favor live stream above. So it's like live stream is the top, then it's video, then it's imagery, then it's text, right? Of what they like their algorithms to be shown the most of. So you're going to get more exposure the more that you do live stream.
Yeah,
you do, and that's the other thing, is that they like that mix as well. So you can just schedule it so that everything's not showing on the same platform at the same time. And it's a great way to do it. And that's why I used to think that one of my biggest fears was that I was going to run out of content. If I kept talking and telling people what I knew, I'd run out of things to say, and it hasn't happened yet. So
you know what? Go on.
I was just going to take Gab's question here, because we're going to focus most of the live on Amazon. But they're asking here about what are the best platforms to stream on. What do you like using other than Amazon, which we'll go into detail with?
I think you've actually got a resource, haven't you, Nick? I actually think you've got a little comparison guide from what I remember as well. So tell us, but then
in the comments later,
put the link in afterwards, because I think that also might come in handy.
That's very true, Helena. I do. I've just got to update it because BeLive that was their birthday last week, and so they've just released a whole raft of new things that you can do with it.
Right. In which case, you talk us through it first, and then pop it in later.
So one of the big things about, and this is all third-party live streaming software, I do have a favorite, and that is BeLive. But I'll tell you for why. But they all do different things. So one of the most important things is now, and particularly for Amazon, is that they all have RTMP, which allows us to not just to stream onto YouTube or Facebook or Twitch or Twitter or LinkedIn, but it allows us to live stream anywhere else. So that's I can never remember what RTM, real time media protocol, I think it is.
It sounds good, Nick. It sounds good.
Yeah. Google it if you don't believe me. But yeah, so that basically takes our video stream and allows us to put it anywhere else that we want, including our websites, but really importantly, including Amazon as well.
And when we were talking about this months back, Nick, that I never thought that you could live stream onto your own website. Yeah. And I was like shocked by that, right? And that's going to be another live in itself. But again, if you want your website to not be a static website and have content, but content that's engaging, then this is another thing to think about. So we'll definitely get you, Nick, once you've updated that sheet, to just put an opt-in download in the comments of this. So
on the little PDF I've got, we cover BeLive, StreamYard, Restream, OBS, and one other. I can't remember what it is now. Of course, Melon, which is the other one. So so there's the four main paid ones, and OBS and OBS Ninja, which is a totally free version, but a little bit more tricky to utilize. But the reason I love BeLive so much, and this is particularly for with Amazon as well, is that BeLive actually has this sales feature that you can use. And that's what it does. It drops comments directly. So you can pull up something on the screen and it will drop the link into the comments in Facebook and YouTube.
Nice.
Amazing.
I'm hoping it's going to come to Amazon fairly soon, but I don't know. But of course, so you can have anything there. So I could drop links in to go sign up to my YouTube channel or my Facebook group or the free Zoom call, anything like that. But equally, effectively, if you're on Amazon, then also you can have your Amazon links as well. So if you're promoting certain products, you can just pull a picture of it up on your screen. It will drop a link to that product in those places. Anyway, whilst you're on Amazon, you've got a little carousel at the bottom, which you highlight as you're going along. And so people who are watching on Amazon can just click that and go and see.
Straight through.
But going back to your point, Kelly, about your website, this is really, really exciting, because if you've got video on your website, then what happens is it's going to sound totally wrong, but when you've got a video, people will listen to what you're saying while they're looking at other pages on your website.
Yeah.
So they're not particularly watching it, but they're listening to it. And
but
so
you're seeing when you're using stuff like Google Analytics that your bounce rate time increases because they're more active, right? They're waiting to the end of the video, and while they're doing that, they're searching around.
That's it.
Exactly that. And you can do that with YouTube, and then you can use a bit of code which stops YouTube then promoting other people's content. But also, you can actually do it where you then have not using YouTube, another piece of software where you can have it sitting on your website just as a playlist like you would have in YouTube. It's all yours.
It's all
and then when you go live, it kind of cuts in like a news flash.
Nice.
So the live goes, and then that just adds to that playlist.
So it's like a television show, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
So if you haven't worked out yet that live streaming is really, really where it's at, then
Julia's going, it's a show. It's a show.
I know, which is really great.
I know when you said that, Helena, it was so funny because it is a show. I mean, but it's funny when it's yours, you think it's a live stream. It's not really a show. It's only when you called it something else. So like once I started calling it the England Australia Cook-Off Show, Keto Cooking Show, it's a show.
It is. And what's amazing for speakers, authors, and coaches, and this is where I want to get to, right, is so many, maybe not all, secretly want to have a show. They want to have that TV show. And this is actually one way of making it easier and easier. But what I want to focus on, because we've been talking to you about the stats, so I do want you to share some of this as well. I really want to focus on why would a speaker, author, coach actively build a channel on Amazon specifically, because you've been doing some amazing things on Amazon. So why would they do it? What kind of reach is available? And can you even show us? Because I know you've been talking to some of our people. So yeah, let us know.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the thing with Amazon is, a few years ago, Facebook was where you were getting lots of reach, and then YouTube's giving us lots of reach, and they kind of wind it down because obviously they want us to be a bit more pay to play. But Amazon is kind of like the new kid on the block for live streamers. So this is like the beginning of the YouTube revolution, but for shopping. And the reason behind that is that they've seen what's been happening in China, which is huge.
Yeah.
But also they're very aware of what YouTube and Facebook are doing, trying to make their videos more shoppable as well, and having their platforms enabling sales. So they've kicked it off in the States. So this is for Amazon.com, but they are actively giving you reach. They're promoting your videos that you stream live. They, obviously everything has a title, so they know what little category to put you into. But it doesn't matter. You can have multiple categories, so you can have lots of different personas if you like. But you'll be shown to the relevant people, because Amazon obviously want people to buy. When you're on Amazon, they're on a buying mode, and what they really want is for you to be able to demonstrate, like a QVC channel, demonstrating a product. And it doesn't have to be just to be a product. It can be that can be books. We were saying earlier, it can be tarot cards for card readers, anything like that you can demonstrate, as long as you've got it in your hand. I always say, I always promote my Yeti microphone.
Yeah.
Then I can display that on Amazon. So people can go in there, click it on the carousel, and take them there. Whilst I'm live streaming, there's a good chance that if I'm chatting about my microphone, if someone goes onto the Blue Yeti page on Amazon to buy one, my live stream video will actually be there live while I'm chatting about the microphone. So it's really, so they're really wanting to promote and show to a larger audience. Now there is a criteria to, you can't just rock up and be an Amazon live stream influencer. You do actually have to go through, you do have to go through a process. And on my YouTube channel, there's a video which tells you exactly how to do it. But basically, you go in, and if you can prove you've got a following with Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, or Facebook, then you'll be allowed in.
Does it need to be following of a certain size, Nick?
Yeah.
They don't tell us, but we think it's between 500 and above.
Oh,
on different.
I thought it would be the magic 5,000 sort of like minimum.
Yeah, it's not so high that it's prohibitive, like 1,000 to go live on TikTok.
Yeah.
That it's not. I don't believe it's all our best guess in these various little groups about it. Our best guess is it's over 500.
Okay.
But then even then, you need to be able to. First thing you do, you get called a rising star, and for the first 90 minutes worth of live stream, or you have to do 90 minutes of live stream. Amazon will then review it and look at it and make sure that you've got a decent enough connection, make sure that you're capable of live streaming. And so once they're happy with that, then they'll allow you to progress as an insider, and then it'll allow you to do certain other things. Then as you build your audience on Amazon and get more live streams, then you can become a A-lister. So it's those levels of
great.
So I'm just an insider.
Just an insider.
But
you're doing amazing.
I think I'm going to sue Amazon because my speakers are called Rising Stars, and that came out before this. So I think I have some trademarking issues with them.
We've got a training on that somewhere. I'll put the link in for you.
Yeah, I'll send Amazon how to stop people stealing your stuff.
But actually, so Nick, whilst you're saying that, there's a question here which I definitely had as a question for you before, which is, well, how does it show up on Amazon? Because I bet you a whole bunch of people who are watching right now are going, I've never seen a live on Amazon. So where does it show? Yeah,
because it's .com, and I hardly ever go on Amazon.com. But
exactly,
if they went on the website, do you see lots of videos straight away, or is it only when I'm going to a Yeti mic that I'd see a Yeti mic video that's going live?
Yeah.
How does it work?
How does it work?
Ah, right. Okay. Let me show you how.
And then I'll come back to the other question. It's just that, sort of like there's bound to be a little bit of jiggery pokery going on here in the jumping around because it's interesting.
There is. Let me share. Can I share my screen?
I believe you can.
I can. Amazon Live. Let's go there. Okay. So this is an Amazon. This is an Amazon Live, and this is a guy. Coach Mike is a guy I follow.
So hang on a second. So you went directly to Amazon.com, and this is a live stream, or did you go somewhere else?
No. So if you go to Amazon.com,
yeah,
and then you just click on all,
yeah,
and then slide down, and you've got Amazon Live there.
Ah,
beautiful,
okay.
Right.
Okay, so you can go Amazon Live, so you can have either what's on live at the moment or what's recently live. So, if you want to catch up, as an example, will I be there? Who knows?
Right. Let's see if you're there.
Let me see. So this is recently live. So old school Christmas gifts ideas. Ellie, it is never too early to talk about.
Get him off!
So here we look. So this is how it's set up. So we've got Halloween coming up. So there's lots of Halloween channels. Yeah. Italian Heritage Month. I didn't know there was such a thing, but there it is. New to Amazon Live. Oh, this guy Mike is Amazon favorites. I saw him yesterday. He is so good. Absolutely.
There you are.
And there I am. Look, there you go. Recently live. This is under creators I follow. So obviously I follow myself. But we've got the cook-off with myself and Adair.
That's great.
So it would show when someone goes to that menu bar, but it might also show if somebody's looking at a product that you've been taught. Say you were doing 5 cookery books the other day, and I was going to go and buy one of those cookery books, and you were live, it might show up on there.
It might. I think I've got a screenshot if I can just find it quickly.
This is so useful, Nick.
Yeah. So this was from yesterday. Let's just tweak my screen share again.
Yeah, sure. And Jill, just make sure that I know that you're saying you've never seen one. Has that answered your question on how to find one? Make sure if we've answered that, let us know.
And bearing in mind, there is that whole, it's the .com at the moment, but it's kind of extending. So we'll talk a little bit to Nick about that in a moment.
Yeah. So hopefully you can see that now as well.
Yeah. Give me a second. Let me just add to stream. There we go.
Okay, so this is a screenshot of yesterday. Nice. So Stephen was talking about his Audio Technica microphone. Right. I've been speaking earlier about my Yeti. And so on the Audio Technica microphone page. There's live streams related to this product, and so our live stream was showing on that page.
Brilliant.
And this is what Amazon really want. They want, we've been talking about video for years, but it really is coming into the forefront.
So this is great. If an author had a book,
they
went live streaming talking about their book.
Exactly. If I could find the one I was looking for, I wear my chef whites when I'm doing the cooking because it's the Raymond Blanc School of Cookery, and so I like to name drop, and so I promote his book, and so and I did a screenshot the other day because I couldn't believe it. I was so pleased, and I was there chatting about leafing through his book on that cookbooks page.
Fabulous.
It's brilliant, and that's what I was saying to you earlier. I did a whole show a week or so ago, running through different cookbooks that I use and take for inspiration for the Keto Nick show. And
so, I love this, right? And I'm hoping that everybody watching is starting to get some ideas for what could they actually do, etc. But I want you to really whet their appetites by actually talking about. So I think they're beginning to get why they might want to set something like this up. But talk to us a little bit about kind of the reach that you're actually getting and the numbers that you need and what that results in, because there is the reach element. If I've got my book and I'm talking about my book, that might be one thing, but talk to us also about the results around sales and everything else. People are really enjoying this.
Wait, Jill's getting really excited. Yeah. I can promote my 13 journal diaries.
There we go.
Exactly. And that's the thing. If you don't have if you can have a print on demand book or product, then this is great. And coming up for Black Friday and the holidays, we've got 6 weeks to go. You can easily get a print on demand product up on Amazon and spend the next 6 weeks promoting it. And if you get it in the right niche, you'll be way ahead of everybody else.
But Nick, think about it. We've got the books, we've got the card deck. So people like Jack and Jacqueline and Judith, who have got, they've created card decks. You've got health coaches that might be using certain bikes or balls or things like that. You've got nutritional supplements. Yeah. There's so many things we could be doing, right?
There is.
So Tally's just asked a question just before you go into this, because I know we'll go down a rabbit hole, so you might incorporate this in. She said, sorry, silly question, how do you search within the live? I can't see a search bar.
Oh, in the live, there's no real searchable element on that. They have their little blocks of recent and different genre shows, and because there's not a busting lot of us live streamers there. I mean, this is the thing. When we had the show this morning, I was saying to you, I think we had, bearing in mind, Amazon.com is primarily for a USA audience. And I had on the show that was early morning in the UK and early evening in Australia, and our stats were we had 320 views on our that was just on my side. So we're splitting the show. So the show goes into my Amazon page and into Adair's. And so I got 320. Adair probably had 300 and something as well.
But when you did it slightly later.
Yeah.
But and that's the thing. So 320. The show from Monday, which goes out at 2 p.m. UK time, so that is 9 a.m. Eastern, that had 1,687 live views. And this is the thing. And we have the product click. So going back to what Kelly was talking about, if you don't even have to have your own product, because if you have your little carousel underneath, if I show you, let me share again.
Yeah, by all means, I'm ready for you.
Tally's excited. She's excited that she can get in early.
That's the thing.
Here we go. Nick is about to show you the answer to this question. Can you link a live in some way to affiliate link products in an influencer shop? Let me add that to the stream. And Nick, go ahead and answer that one.
Okay, the answer is yes, here. So this is the carousel. So this is where you have your featured products. So every time before you go, and you cannot go live without at least one thing in your carousel.
Okay.
And so you can put in up to 40 items in a carousel. Amazon are very, very keen that whatever you have in your carousel, you have an intimate knowledge about, and ideally have the product that you can actually show in your hand. That's very important. That's a recent change. But yeah, so all these elements in the carousel, what will happen is if I clicked on the Lego Classic large creative brick box.
Yes, please.
She loves Lego. It's her heritage, right?
Lego. I mean, come on now.
I know. Well, that will then take you away to that page, and so.
But people are liking it and stuff. So is that people watching it that are actually doing little likes in the bottom right there?
So you can see emoticons, right?
Yeah.
You got the little stars, but here you got the chat in the Amazon element as well. So
amazing.
They like to see a little bit of chat. So I think on the show, this is the thing on the shows. Yesterday's show, I think I had 70 messages in the Amazon chat, and you get all those. You can see those things. But going back to the affiliate side, so where you make your money is if you go and click on the Lego, then if you buy the Lego, well, actually, just because you've clicked on the Lego, that's going to drop a cookie. So anything you then buy on Amazon for the next 24 hours, will be attributed to yourself. And so one of the very early streams I did, and this is what really rammed it home to me, was that I'd done this live stream. I think it was about 450 people on the stream. I made the princely sum of $13.76, but I'd shipped just under $700 of product. And when I looked at it, that was 2 products. So if you've got a product, that is like $350 each, and then you can just go and, that was one of my very, very first shows, and you can go and promote it, and it's your product, and sell more of it. Why on earth wouldn't you do that? So it makes you've got
an exercise fitness coach and start selling Peloton bikes.
Absolutely. If it's listed, if you're using it and it's listed in Amazon, whack it in your carousel, because you can do it. And that's amazing.
That's good, because you can put your stuff in there and other people, right? So therefore that's really, and talk us a little bit. I know you do this. You spoke about your cook-off show and your keto show, and you just showed the mic that you do. Because what you have learned, because you are an influencer or an insider, as they call you, is you are doing shows with people. So tell us about how speakers, authors, and coaches could do that.
Yeah, this is a lovely thing, because there's lovely cross-pollination effectively. This is why live streaming and networking is such a great vehicle for networking. So I've got an audience on Facebook and YouTube, but I live stream with Stephen Healy on a Monday. He has a different audience on Facebook and YouTube. Adair, she has a different audience again. And so we mix and match our audiences, because the 3 of us do different things. So we just bring our audiences in together, and so it's a brilliant thing. So if you're there's a lovely lady called Brigitte Lambada, she's in South Africa.
Nice.
And she has an amazing and I will be copying it. She has a great show where she interviews authors, and it's the greatest thing. And so she just has an author on there promoting their book. No one knows your book better than you. You've written it.
Cool.
So it makes a great interview. And for 45 minutes, that's basically you're answering about 6 questions at the max. You're talking about your book. But if you wanted, if you had another author, then you can chat to each other about your other books. You start to build a following on Amazon as well. And again, going back to the fitness element, you can have lots of different. You can have a coach and a gym person, and those can combine and bring those 2 audiences together.
And this is what you do, isn't it, Nick? You this is something you offer. I want to highlight this to our audience.
Yeah,
you offer to interview speakers, authors, and coaches on your channel.
I do indeed. And that's and that's great, because not only do you get your live stream interview, hopefully you get we get it live on your books page at the time. But even if that doesn't happen, you've still got another video after the event that, as I say, you've got about a month's worth of content that is just, you can then cut up, you got you give you the video, you can just cut it up, repurpose it, do anything you like with it. But it's great. It's just, a real easy introduction to live streaming. And so my little mission is just to bring so many people into the live streaming arena, because it is easy. And so, why not do it?
And we will help you, Nick. I know that Nick, Helena's put again the link to your website so people can connect with you to talk about any of this. Are you happy with people to connect with you on Facebook as well, if they're watching this on Facebook, and send you a DM or a friend request?
Absolutely. Any which way you want to connect, I'm happy with. The link to the website is I have a little landing page where you can register. I have a free Zoom call on a Wednesday at 2 p.m. every Wednesday, totally free. Just register to join that, and we talk about Amazon Live and live streaming in general, and then pretty much a Q&A. So
well, I was going to say, and I've added in your because you've got a little Facebook group as well where you are helping people to sort of do this.
My fledgling little Facebook group. So yes,
and
that's where I'll start to put all the recordings of the little mini teachers I do on the Zoom call. So if you're in that group, then you'll always be able to catch up with a replay as well. So
we've got a couple of things here. I know that Julia's saying she has to be careful she doesn't go down another rabbit hole. And Julia's saying, hi Nick, I'd love to follow up with you. Sent you a DM last week, looking forward to talking more. So that's great. You've got another conversation going there. We know that one of the things that our audience, our avatar, often gets stuck up on is tech. So you've shown, I think you've really demonstrated with that live stream, even though I'm very annoyed that guy was doing Christmas. It was a good demonstration of showing the carousels, showing the chat, showing the emoticons, and you can see your reach and stuff. But what would somebody who was going to go live stream, I understand you're going to teach them how to set themselves up, which is on your YouTube video. But what tech would they need? What equipment? You're talking about mics and things. What's the most important to have?
Okay, well, to live stream on Amazon, the one thing you do need is an iOS device. So I think the reason it's iOS, I believe, is because if you go Android, you've got to match things with a whole raft of different techs, whereas iOS is just
this might actually be the thing that makes me come to the dark side.
It's because iOS rocks. Why would you not use anything other than iOS?
I know. Crazy.
We have opinions on this.
Oh, well, but this is the thing, Helena. So I've got this iPhone 12, okay? Now, I've got it because I need it to be able to live stream on Amazon. Guess what's in my carousel?
Well, I was going to say, so here's where I went. As soon as you started doing that, I'm like, where's the carousel so I can click on it, please? Like, because that's actually what we're doing. So do,
So they need an iOS device. That's the first thing.
Yeah, that's the first thing you need, because you need to go live from that iOS device. Okay. So this is where it does get a little bit techie, but that doesn't mean we can't live stream using our laptops and our desktops as well. So so we use the third-party live streaming software. Amazon gives us this RTMP key, so we can pop that in our third-party software, and so then we can use the things like BeLive or StreamYard or Restream or whatever you want to do, and then you can make it as technical or as easy as you like. Yeah, it'll be a very good idea if you've got. I used a little webcam. I use my Yeti microphone, but sometimes on the cooking show, because I'm down in the kitchen, I'm using two cameras. I'm actually using the laptop built-in camera and the little webcam, just so we can do a two shot, and then we do like you guys have here. So we create transparent overlays. We can have like questions. We have agendas that we can pull in. We can change the overlays depending on what we're doing, even midstream. There's so many lovely different ways we can use it. And again, as we said earlier on, it's not just about streaming to Amazon, because we're using these third-party softwares. We can also then stream to our Facebook pages, groups, YouTube channels, and just keep them going. And then if you want to get really techie, which is one of the things that I can teach even more, is that then there's other software we can use where we can actually then send it to our websites, send it to other people's groups. A lot of people are setting up Facebook groups and having it like a little syndication platform. So, for example, Adair with her in Australia, she has one called My Time TV Live, and so that we beam the shows into her. She said, "Oh look, I'll make you an admin. You can beam your shows in there." We've got her friend Roz who does tarot readings. Lots of different people beam into that Facebook group, so you're pulling more of an audience as well. It's a really clever thing to do.
So the question that just came in from Jill was, can you use boring old Zoom? So can you use Zoom?
He's thinking. Can you use Zoom to live stream into Amazon?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It has to be.
Well, I say no. I guess with the RTMP code, potentially.
When you have to be a bit techie to put it in, because obviously on Zoom you go live.
I was going to say, I was trying to think through the actual kind of options in there.
I'm the 3 dots.
I'm in danger of going down a rabbit hole now, Jill.
Yeah. But the thing about this rabbit hole is you're going to get paid at the end of it. So.
Yes. So we like a little bit of that.
So look, as rabbit holes go, it's not that bad.
And I'm just asking this question. So when obviously you see your reach and the numbers that you've been telling us was your live reach, do you see what happens when someone's watched it on the replay when you're not live? Do you get to see the total reach or just your live reach?
You get your live reach, and then they have it on site live and off site live.
Right.
So I don't think my off site live reach is much at all. I don't check it. So.
Okay.
And does it go away? Like, sort of, is it there forever? And do you were talking about the repurposing. Do you then download it in order to then go and do your repurposing, or what's the deal with that?
Okay, you can. Normally, I would recommend anyone to use the third-party software anyway, so that's going to give you a high-definition recording. Right. But if you are just using your phone, and I did this a couple of weeks ago, I just had the phone in the ring light just to see what difference it made. And you can actually download it. There's an element in there you can click. Amazon will send you a link to your email where you can then download as well. So you always got a recording, and yes, it's always there. If you go into someone's channel, then you click on the
right.
And just one question, Techie, on actually the setup. So obviously you just answered a little bit there, because obviously when you sign up, you'll set up a profile, you'll have a page which has all of your videos that you've ever done. When you're live and you're having that chat aspect, is there any way you interact, but is there any way to connect with any of those people that are chatting? Can they follow you? Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Anyone that's chatting to you, anyone's watching your video can press the follow button. Okay. There's got a little follow button on the screen. And so that's how you build your Amazon following.
Yeah.
Your videos, after your video's gone live, then on your storefront you'll have the most recent one sat there, but you can go in and see previous ones.
Great. So that's what Jill was asking, the same as you, Helena. Does it go away? So
exactly.
You can have your Amazon page as part of your social icons on your website and all those types of things, and people can go straight to your page. Yeah,
absolutely. And that's why. And a top tip for doing that is, many people just use little link shorteners, but just go buy yourself a domain. I'm like, so nickwood.live takes you directly to my storefront, and when I'm live, will take you directly to my live stream. So
stay to the end of the Facebook Live before you go in on your
that's right.
Go daddies, just wait, everybody.
There may even be more.
It was only chili con carne this morning. You don't want to watch that.
And so what Kelly was just talking about, because I think everyone will be familiar with this, and I do want to tackle the when does it get to Europe kind of bit. But I'm sure that there are many speakers, authors, and coaches. A third of the people inside the Connection Hub are actually in the States anyway. But for those of us who are in Europe or elsewhere, in terms of the reach, can we as Europeans go onto Amazon.com and actually set that up right now, or do we wait? What's the deal?
No, you can go straight on and set it up right now. I was before I joined the influencer program, I was just an Amazon associate, so like the affiliate side, and that was all with Amazon.co.uk.
Yeah.
It took me about half an hour to just rechange it to Amazon.com. Once you've done it to Amazon.com and the influencer, you can then it just gives you an option to say, oh, do you want to include .co.uk.eu,
Amazing.
.fr.d,
Right.
whatever it was. So yeah, there is that. But for your products though, you do need your products to be listed. Obviously, if you're in the UK, have them .co.uk, but also list them on .com as well. And particularly if anyone who's got a print-on-demand product, then definitely
Amazing.
.com. And
I think that's why Jill's kind of rubbing her fingers in glee, because these 13 pieces I believe are print on demand. So it opens up, like our intention here really is to open up your world around what are the products that you have in your product range, what are the things that are maybe at the early stages of your user journey. Kelly and I will always talk about how are you serving your people and how are you getting them into your world. And so I like that you've got that chat feature as well, because I'm assuming you can drop links into things like your Facebook group or stuff like that.
No, that you can't do. No, that's they monitor the chat very, very tightly, so they don't like you dropping a link in to take you away from the Amazon page.
Okay.
But this is the thing about BeLive that I love so much. You can drop the link into the product in the comments on Facebook and YouTube while you're chatting about it on Amazon. So that's the thing. That's why I was saying, the different third-party platforms do different things, which is why you like them for certain reasons. That's probably the biggest reason I like BeLive.
And I know that this is definitely going to whet people's appetites. And I know people like Tally are saying they want to get in early and do this.
Yeah.
What do you offer as a service, Nick? So I know that we'll put it in again. So we've got your Facebook group, we've got let's talk a little bit more about what happens on those weekly calls that people can join for free. So tell us a little bit more about them. But also, could you do this for people? Is that a service? So tell people a little bit more about what they can do with you.
For sure. The weekly free Zoom call is exactly that. That's an introduction to live streaming, and particularly with Amazon. And off the back of that, that's basically a 15-minute teach and a Q&A to answer people's questions. And then off the back of that, then you can have a discovery call or strategy call, so we can actually map out a strategy. And you can actually either do that entirely yourself then, because if you're capable of doing it yourself, just go, you do it yourself, or I provide like a 3-month handhold teaching you through how to get set up, how to create all the infrastructure, so building your network in order to get enough people to join in the first place, all the overlays, all the tech stuff, and then the hand holding through the first scheduled broadcasts. So there's one thing about going live on a different platform on your own, which can be very scary, particularly if you're using a third-party platform and you've not used it before. Then it's quite handy to get someone that knows how to do it and you just change things around while you're focused on doing your thing. So that's like I do it as a 3-month little program just to get you up running and really in that influencer program.
Just to really build your confidence and those first times. I mean, that's really what holds people back. So it's great.
It's that scary thing, or indeed as an influencer, then if you want to be influenced, if you want to be on my shows, we can create a show for you. If you want, if we have the time and it works, then we can have a weekly or a fortnightly show where I can host and have you on, and we could do that together if that's something that might be of interest. So
and what's really interesting for me is, of course, and you are a perfect demonstration at the front end of this call and at the back end of this call, in terms of always looking at what are other people doing that you could also do. So I really feel in your future, bearing in mind there's 12,000 people who are in the Connection Hub with you, and many, a high percentage of those are indeed authors. So the lady that you spoke about in South Africa, I believe, Brigetti, with the beautiful name. Yes.
You can be the UK version.
Yeah, you can do that, can't you?
Absolutely. And I know people that are thinking of having like little book fairs, so online Amazon book fairs, so you have several authors all on at once.
And of course, your book launches.
Book launches, absolutely. And that's the thing, particularly with authors. You know, if you've got people that you've been telling about all your books, you know, they're going to be gagging for your next book. So when it's going to be coming, it's like a little book tour all by itself.
Do a little open reader wrong. I know Jill's asking, and maybe Jill, you might want to join Nick's Facebook group and ask this question on his thing. But she's actually saying, is there a way that she can get Amazon to print CDs on demand, old school style? I know there are companies that do it, but I don't know about Amazon. So maybe it might not be for now, but it might be to ask in your group.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Amazon do that specifically, but there's certainly third parties that link with Amazon that can do it.
With Amazon.
Sure. Yeah.
So there'll be a way, Jill. There'll be a way.
That's the thing, because that's that sort of thing Amazon actually really does like, because it's got control, and so that's the thing. So it likes it.
So we know that you have got loads more to say about this. So for those of you who are still watching, go and join Nick's group. Have a think about how Nick might interview you and what might actually happen. And for those of you who are watching this on the replay, tell us what your takeaway was. Tell us what your action is actively going to be. And for those of you who still feel like, whoa, this has just added a whole new element and I'm not really sure where to go, feel free to book in a call, either with Nick, of course, but also just I will happily do a little get unstuck call and let you have a think with me around how you might use something like this in your business. So if that appeals to you, book an unstuck call and a get unstuck call and have a chat, because that's really going to work. But I just want to say thank you, Nick, for opening up a new world, I feel, for many, many speakers, authors, and coaches who might never have known about this, or who might come to the party a little bit too late.
Yeah, but and that's why you're in our change maker community, because you are a change maker, Nick. You are literally at the forefront of this new venture for lots of people, and we're so glad that we've got a pool of people that can go on the journey with you and win for everyone around.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, absolutely. Well, no, thank you guys very much indeed. It's been an absolute pleasure to come on, talk about things that I absolutely love. Is what's
not to love about that, right?
Another live stream, isn't it?
Exactly. And isn't that what you do? So on that note, I'm going to bid you all goodbye. I knew this was going to be a long one, but we hope that you've gained so much from it. We'll see you all next week for another clarity and connection session. Wow.